So a common comment that we get for our heavy vehicle matters is, why bother getting a lawyer? You can do these matters yourself, save yourself the cost. And you're absolutely right that lawyers cost money. And if you're going to get fined anyway, well, just cop the fine, off you go. But there are always pros and cons to everything, and there's always a risk with that strategy. Case in point, a gentleman contacted me. He's a business owner based in Brisbane, and he said that recently one of his drivers was charged by the NHVR with not getting sufficient rest under Section 250 of the Heavy Vehicle National Law. That matter was listed at Parramatta Local Court. They contacted the NHVR, and NHVR said, oh, it's okay, you can just write a letter, you don't need to be in court in person. And they did that without consulting a lawyer. As a consequence, he found out yesterday that he got a fine for $6,000. That is significant when you consider that this individual has never had any issues in his driving record or his criminal record or dealing with the NHVL. This was his first long-haul drive. He was not familiar with the rules. Had someone actually advocated properly on his behalf, he would have pointed out to the magistrate that his insufficiency in rest was fairly minimal. I have been involved in matters that had multiple offenses against the NHVL. I've had matters involving multiple breaches of the Heavy Vehicle National Law and come out of court with less than $6,000 fine. So in my view, the $6,000 fine for a single offense, first-time offender with no prior record is excessive. And it might have been that the magistrate had available to them other sentencing options, including a good behavior bond or conditional release order without proceeding to conviction. Those are things that probably were not explored because there was no one advocating for this particular driver. As a result, this individual will now have to consider the cost-benefit analysis of running an appeal to the district court on that sentence, which will be far more expensive because of the additional preparation and time that will need to be invested than just doing the matter in the local court. This is an example of, had he engaged someone, or at least to talk to someone about what their options were, had he engaged a lawyer like myself, experienced with the heavy vehicle law and experience with the court system, he would have got solid, independent legal advice, and he might have even saved himself a few $1,000s in the process. So if you've been charged under the Heavy Vehicle National Law, give Eric Nevea Legal a call.